I'd like to call the Germantown School District Buildings and Grounds Committee meeting to order. It's September 16th, 2025 at 5:15 p.m. Roll call, Village Trustee Borst.
Here.
Loth.
Here.
Voyer.
Here.
And I am here. Item number 3, agenda revisions and approval. I'm looking for a motion.
Motion to approve the agenda. Second.
Motion by Voyer, second by Loth to approve tonight's agenda. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
I'm just going to abstain because I wasn't here.
Thank you. Item number 4, approval of the August 19th, 2025 meeting minutes.
Motion to approve the August 19th, 2025 meeting minutes. Second.
Motion by Voyer, second by Loth. Any discussion? Yes, Mr.
Yeah,
Loth.
there is an issue with number 5. We discussed 4-foot footings and solid concrete walls, and there's no mention of that in item number 5 here. And also disappointing is there's nothing about that in tonight's agenda either, if that was discussed with the contractor. Is it in the agenda this evening?
Not directly in the agenda. I was going to bring light to that subject during the 5-year capital to give some explanation on it.
Okay. I just didn't see it in there.
Would you like the meeting minutes amended, or just want to note that?
Yeah, I think it should be reflected that we discussed that. It's I don't know if it's going that route, but it's a big issue. Concrete block versus solid walls.
If you'd like the meeting minutes amended, we'll need the amendment added.
So amend item number 5 to include the discussion of 4-foot footings and solid concrete walls of appropriate height above grade.
Okay, we have an amendment. Do I have a second?
Second.
So Loth with the amendment, Voyer with the second. Any discussion on the amendment to add the language that Mr. Loth identified? Okay, we're going to vote on the amendment first. All those in favor of amending the motion say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The amendment carries. Any further discussion on the original motion?
I believe this is the one that I need to abstain from because I wasn't here. So I wanted to clarify.
Thank you, duly noted. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining?
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carries. Item number 5, reports and updates. Letter A, work order completion report. Mr. Lord.
Yes, thank you. So this is the monthly work order completion report, which is generated through Dude Solutions, our maintenance work order system. This report includes the description, priority level, location, day's age, request date, which is the date submitted, and completion date of the work orders completed between 7/31 of 25 and 8/29 2025. The general overview here is we had 160 completed work orders between 7/31 and 8/29. 0 work orders had completion dates after 45 days, and the priority ratio was 157 medium to 3 high. And I have the attached work order completion report, and you'll definitely notice quite an increase from last month's completion report, and that has a lot to do with the start of school and completing the end of the summer projects that were work orders, excuse me. Yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have. Pretty standard work request. Even the highs were not extremely high priorities, but definitely would be labeled as a high priority. Or an emergency, I should say, not emergencies, but a priority.
So I do have one question on the high priority item at the high school to fix the pool pump alarm. Can you describe a little bit more on that? It is listed as 21 days from open to close, if I'm reading this right, but just so you get some perspective on that, please.
Yeah. So we have an alarm on the pool pump that essentially checks in multiple times a day. We were having issues on and off of it just sending the signal or not communicating. And it turned out to be the device that is on there. Not the end of the world. We typically have our CPO on site here who checks the pool regularly. And it is something where it wouldn't be of complete danger, even if it were to go 24 hours, but it is something for extended breaks and things of that nature to be well aware of, and obviously to get on top of it if it actually were a pool pump failure versus a communication error.
Any other questions? Mr. Lowe?
There was this might have been in vouchers, so these are blending together. I'm trying to not turn, finance into an extra Building and Grounds Committee meeting. There was something about a repair on the generator here at GHS. Can you elaborate on that at all?
Without the full report in front of me, I can't to be as specific, but we had preventative maintenance done, and something along the lines of the starting and carrying on system was failing. It would start, but it wouldn't shut down as soon as it needed to. So, and actually it aligned perfectly because we do have an alarm system on that as well. It happened literally within the 24 hours that we had our preventative maintenance completed. So it was funny how it worked out. I literally got the work report and I was like, did this just happen? And it did, so.
So it happened just after preventative
yeah.
maintenance? So you're not gonna have preventative maintenance done next year?
No. Right.
Just kidding.
No, right.
But, so it wouldn't shut off?
Yep.
It runs 1 hour per week?
Yep.
And it didn't want to shut off?
Exactly.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I just don't know the technical term of what failed, but a
Okay.
timer switch of some sort.
Sounds good.
Any other questions? Okay, that item was information only. We'll move on to item 5B, rainwater intrusion report.
Yes, so the historic rainfall that occurred between August 9th and 10th impacted several areas, the district grounds, buildings and grounds, I should say. The majority of these areas were caused by flash flooding on the rooftops, which allowed the water to enter through seams, curb lines, HVAC equipment, et cetera. All of these areas impacted were addressed in a timely manner, which significantly decreased lasting damage and/or minimized the loss inventory. The rainfall did not have an impact on the buildings being ready for the start of school, and all of the ceiling tiles, flooring, furniture, et cetera, were repaired or replaced as needed in order to make sure we were school ready. We do have a couple minor things that we are still working on just for replacements thereof. But for the general speaking here in the summary, I highlighted kind of the bigger issues that we did have as far as the rainfall went. And I will do a quick sight over them. The Germantown High School had the orchestra pit here flood, and for all reasons concerned, it was the sub pump failure. The float switch failed and caused it to not turn on. Again, we found this at about 12:30 a.m. on that Sunday night, and we were able to, one of the staff members was able to baby it along while pinning it open for the time being, and then was able to get a replacement pump early in the morning at the local Menards. So that was taken care of, and again, that's one that we still have a couple little cleanup items on moving forward here. Amy Bell, the office and boiler room. This is a transition in the building, and I had heard that this has happened before. We have a seam between two building sections, and as soon as the rain hits that curb level, it is the most, what do I want to say, easy space for the water to intrude, and that is right along the boiler wall room, which connects directly with the office. So we did have some water on the floor in there. It did creep about an office and a half over. Not an extreme flood, but definitely wet. Excuse me. County Line, the art room and library. Yeah, so pretty much any issues at County Line revolved around that courtyard, unfortunately, because of its pitch and the way that it is graded. We had some water on the carpeting in the library, and in the art room, we had lost about 15 by 19 foot area of VCT tiles that after drying out started to pop and curl. We did get on the phone with our local floor contractor, and we were able to get a very much like VCT installed within that second day of school. So we had one minor displacement of the art room for a day, which was okayed between the staff and administration there, and that has since been fully restored. MacArthur, excuse me, due to the volume of the rain, there were various areas in the roof that did allow water intrusion. This affected several ceiling tiles within the building, a couple of classrooms with classroom rugs, and roughly 11 books that were damaged. All other water intrusion was located on hard floor surfaces, such as VCT and LVT tiling, and those were taken care of, cleaned up, extracted in a very timely manner, again, in order to cut back on any loss or further issue. Rockfield, we could not find anything. I'm only giggling a little bit because I was really impressed that Rockfield held up out of all of them, the hillside there, and previous happenings there. So that was good to hear and see. And Kennedy, yet another one. We did not have any notable water issues. So, excuse me.
Any questions? Mr. Look?
We're missing photos of the damage. The report would be much nicer if a few photos, and I don't wish to create you additional work, but before and after photos might be nice.
Sure.
Full page. We're not printing any of these agendas, so we don't have to worry about ink use, just bits, and I think we have enough new servers to handle huge reports if they get a lot of photos in them. So just remember this, the report could have just photos and no texts.
Sure.
No text at all, but of course, photos require captions also.
Yes,
It's proper engineering work. Photos must have captions, so it'd be nice to have a couple photos.
Okay, definitely.
So curled, I can imagine what curled tile looks like, but it'd be nice to have a photo of it
Sure.
in there that way. The
Absolutely.
citizens know what it looks like also.
Definitely.
But, yeah, I think any of these items where there's a, downspout or something that's too small to handle this, I can't remember the exact year, I could probably figure it out, but we had a rain that was like this or worse about 25 years ago, maybe 25 years ago. And I was not on the school board, so I have no idea what was flooded in the school at that time, but I imagine everything we just experienced happened, 25 years ago. So, someone could say, well, there's no benefit, it only happens every 25 years. Well, we don't know, it might happen next year again. 25 years is not that bad, but, weather is the weather, right? It changes every day. So, yeah, we really should get on top of anything that's not, an overwhelmed, roof drainage system is not acceptable, even though it's an unusual rain, having things flood and, getting into the office and all that. We really shouldn't have to extract water from anywhere.
Sure. No, definitely.
That was just gonna be the one thing I brought up with Amy Bell. 'Cause I think it's Amy Bell that she mentioned, with the seam, the building seam. We may wanna take a look at that, cause to Mr. Lowe's point, a drain can get overwhelmed because of the amount of water, but if there's some sort of seam, and it doesn't happen very often, but I feel like within your time here, it may have happened where something like that. It's just something to at least consider, take a look at, see, what the potential cost might be, or what could be done to help prevent something like that. But, let's be honest, I was somewhat surprised at how little we had as far as damage and intrusion, especially compared to the citizens that we have and certainly surrounding neighborhoods. So I think we're actually pretty fortunate, all things considered, that we had as little bit of damage as we did, so.
Wasn't too bad. I guess I'm curious at Amy Bell, for example, are there any trees right next to the building there? I can't remember that you know, these drains might have been plugged with debris. That's the other gotcha. And
Yep.
if that's the case, the trees need to go.
Right.
You know, they,
There's a smaller one that I don't think had much effect on this as of yet, a little bit further towards the main entrance. It's right on that corner there. But it didn't look like that was the roof. The next curved roof was the next one that it was, and it's a ballasted roof yet. The drains were cleaned, actually recently before that. But what had happened is it's a short curb with a drip cap, and, you don't have any sealant or anything because it lets the block breathe.
Yep.
But in this case, when the water brings up to here, it can then intrude through there. So
Yeah,
that's kind of what we're looking at. But I have talked to our roofing consultant for various different areas that we did have some intrusion on maybe what we can do even moving forward with capital improvements and roof replacements to maybe keep this from happening again if we do get it next year or the year after. So,
sounds good.
Any other questions, comments? Okay, that item 2 was also information only. Item 5C, 2025-2026 school year readiness.
yes, so since the last day of school, the Buildings and Grounds team has been working diligently to restore, repair, and revamp the facilities for a safe, clean, and functional return for all staff and students. This includes, but is not limited to, top to bottom interior cleaning, identifying and repairing all necessary furniture, revamping interior and exterior spaces, which includes painting, general construction, safety upgrades, etc. Repair of all identified plumbing, HVAC, and electrical equipment, addressing prioritized work orders, and performing all necessary scheduled preventative maintenance. And with that, I just wanted to mention that all of the buildings were student and staff ready on September 2nd. The start of the school year kicked off with little to no related issues and or hiccups. There were a couple very minor, but nothing that affected any the operation of the school day. And with that, a summer project recap will be shared at the next Buildings and Grounds Committee meeting. This recap will identify all of the in-house projects completed, as well as the contracted capital projects completed through the 2025 summer break. And I will get as many pictures in that as possible.
Thank you. And we got to see it firsthand as we did our tours, all the work that was going on with things moved out of the classrooms and all of that kind of fun stuff. So appreciate everybody's work over the summer to do the things we need to do to maintain our facilities as well as get ready for the new school year. Any questions or comments on this particular item? Item 5D, operational expense projects.
Yes, so in order to effectively align the ongoing maintenance and repairs throughout the district with the emphasis to the facilities condition assessment, priority level 1 crosswalk, staff will be generating a working document to identify the listed priorities and needs as operational expense, which will be known as OPEX projects, similar to the 5-year capital improvement plan. These OPEX projects will include the lesser capital projects, contracted services, and Germantown School District maintenance as classified in the FCA Priority Level 1 crosswalk. This will support and ensure the tracking of, progression of, and completion of maintenance and repairs throughout the district. Just as a secondary means of taking care of the priorities that don't quite meet capital improvements, nor will wait until long-range planning. And it'll just kind of help us take priority 1s into priority 2s with the operational budget for planning ahead year to year.
Questions? I would just say if anybody has any ideas as far as what they may want to see on this report, I'm going to let Frank kind of develop the first draft of what things are going to look like, but if anybody does have any ideas as far as what they may want to see, feel free to just pass that along to him if you want to copy me in on the email, okay, so I'm aware, but we'll let Frank and his team kind of kick things off, and we can take a look and see what we can do, or if we have any suggestions for improvement, so. Sure. Item number 6, we have no unfinished business. Item number 7, new business. Letter A, 2025-2030 5-year capital improvement plan.
Yes, the five-year capital improvement plan has been created in order to identify, plan, implement, and complete all necessary projects and/or updates to the district facilities and grounds. The CIP is intended to keep all district property operating in a safe, efficient, and beneficial manner for all students, staff, and community. This plan includes previously identified needs as well as needs identified in the facilities condition assessment and is intended to be a working document in order to best fit the needs of the Germantown School District. Annual projects will be based on the needs rating and stated classification, which is attached, with the best interest of the district's standing budget. And I will say, this one around made it a little bit easier with having the crosswalk to go off of and prioritizing our needs and things that we can take care of in order to align not only what we receive, but what we want to see completed. I don't think there were any major changes over the projects themselves, other than the few additions for the 2030 year, which is hard to say. And then I also have the attached ongoing completed capital projects, just for reference and what kind of success we've had in completing capital projects.
Open up for any questions. Mr. Lowe?
Yeah, I'd like to just congratulate you on having for 25-26 pave and stripe the overflow lot for Amy Bell. If it weren't for first day of school tours by the board, I don't think any of us would have seen just how well used that lot is on a school day. I don't know if it was extra traffic because it was the first day of school or if that's normal, but the lot was full. And it's not striped, it's gravel. It's a kind of a fall hazard, although I don't think there's any potholes in it. But still paving it would be very nice, you know, and striping it so everybody knows where to park versus, you know, wherever they think they should park. And also I wanted to just ask, we might have gone through this before, at Amy Bell, the generator, I think that is going to be sized to keep the well pump running, the Mike Loth, what is it, the septic system running? And the emergency lighting, I believe, right? It's
Yes.
those are the main
Correct.
main items.
Yep.
So when that school, just so it's noted for everyone, when that school or Rockfield has a generator or no?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, it does, okay. So Rockfield's okay, but they'd be in the same boat, you might say, if
Correct.
power goes out. They still have water, they still have sewer, septic, and emergency lighting, so school doesn't necessarily have to close, I don't think, if they lose power.
No,
mean,
I was actually at Rockfield for when we had the power go out.
Last year.
Yeah, it was last year at some point. And I was very impressed with what was taken on by the generator.
Yeah, yeah.
And
so-
typically, it's the other way around, but this, I think they did that one right, which would be somewhat of a replication with Amy Bell then.
Okay, yeah, so we'll keep Amy Bell
Yep.
in service also with a generator if need be. Okay.
Ideally, to at least finish out that day, yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, yeah, that's really all I have. I think going through school by school and seeing all the years and the dollars was one thing, you know, my head was kind of spinning. I think going year by year for all the schools and the totals, I can see that some thought was put into trying to hold the number under 750K, I believe, if that's,
Yep.
that's what I was seeing. So, I mean, we can talk about it a little bit in the next meeting, but I think that is that. So we've got funding in the budget for year by year for the next 5 years on this
Yeah.
plan?
We're levying $650,000 this year.
Okay.
Funds left in fund balance is Fund 41, which is the fund he's speaking about right now.
Yeah.
So that's why his dollar amount for this year is
Okay, so just in case that couldn't be heard on the video, we're levying $650,000 this year to take care of the upcoming projects. I think as far as that, the parking lot is concerned, anything parking lot related that has the years 2025 to 2026 right now is actually, we're not looking at doing anything this fall anymore, or are we?
So I was going to mention there is a chance, I have discussion, I should be receiving the number this week for Amy Bell,
Okay.
because I had thought if we could do that before winter, it would be ideal.
Oh, yeah, that'd
So-
be great. I wasn't expecting it, but if.
Yeah, it just so happened after having a couple turnarounds with him, I'd say, well, this is on my 5-year. We could technically do it this fall yet, if, if the weather cooperates, we could do a very quick turnaround. So
Yeah.
if that is the case, that will definitely be in the next committee meeting.
Yeah, otherwise I think it's gotta be, late spring, early summer
Yeah.
of 2026.
Yep.
Okay.
Which is
very-
nice with that lot, because, we're not really in anybody's way if we do want to
Yeah,
paint for the
yeah.
time being.
Yep, got it. Okay, very good.
And then with that, part of with our 25, 26 projects, the Dreamfield dugout replacement, just coming back to the build on it. So the initial look was to have the 48-inch foundation and then do slab then we're gonna do the slab and then do CMO up. But I have discussed it with JP Cullen about doing the same 48 to take care of any of the frost sheeting. And then we're getting the numbers updated right now to do straight concrete poured walls. And it'll be 4-foot centered rebar in each, all the way across the dugouts, I should say.
Okay,
So that is definitely in the mix right now. I tried to get it turned around they're in the middle of getting everything okayed with the village and everything, so, they didn't have enough for me to bring to this meeting, so.
they don't, do you have any idea on the dollars? Are we talking less money, more money,
It's-
same money?
So, I had thought about it being less, initially, actually, before even learning of, the potential and the informative, but our project manager, as I was discussing it with him on site at a pre-construction meeting, had said that the setup and takedown for the size of these dugouts, for the frames that they have, is actually less efficient than if it would be a bigger building or a larger build, because they have more takedown setup, a detach, reattach, move, and then they need some larger equipment. But with the pour being as quick as it is, being less labor, it definitely does offset some of that. And if it is that difference between the let's just say the 100-year and 50-year build, I see no reason why we wouldn't just, if we can, if it's not something astronomical, go with the more solid build.
Right, okay, very good.
Yep.
Anything else? Yes.
I just had a quick question for Kennedy Middle School. Looking at the list there, the first item, roof replacement for section P. How I'm reading this, it looks like that's more critical. It's coming in out of 5, but it's not going to happen until 2027, 2028. And I was just curious if there's a reason why perhaps that one hasn't moved up on the list.
Yeah, roofs are
Year.
tricky. Yeah, I'm glad you pointed this out, because it's hard for me to even put a 5 on there and then have it out at 27, 28. But, so this is a roof that we've done quite a bit of larger repairs to, because of the significance of the failing, with already having a worse roof than that on Kennedy, which should get us at least 3 to 5 years. So with that, we put it in the planning for 3 to 5, or the 4 years out, 3 years to 4 years out, but with intention where if we have another major seal, crack, or something happen on the roof, that we would then move it up, which is partially it being a working document, because you do run into that. But from my side, we vested money to get us the 3, 4, 5 years in order to fall into schedule with all the other roofs.
Got it. Okay,
And then
thank you.
hopefully it just keeps.
Anything else? Okay, I'd be looking for a motion.
I'll make a motion with a positive recommendation to the Finance Committee to approve the 5-year capital improvement plan as presented.
Second.
Motion by Voyer, second by Borst. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, looking for one final motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Boyer, second by Borst to adjourn. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Meeting ends at 5:45. Thank you.